Alright, hello everybody, this is Dom, and this is my NPAAA draft recap. So, I'm really excited to join this league, and also shoutouts to Papa C and its Soft for helping me get in, I really appreciate. So, let's get right into it. My first pick I got was Lopunny. I think it's one of the best Pokemon in the draft format. I picked it number 4th overall. It has a really nice attack stat with 136 and amazing speed at 135. So I can really outspeed a lot of teams because, as you know, in the NPAAA there is 24 teams, which I really don't like because it's really hard, to try to get a good draft. And its bulk stacks are really decent too, with 90, 90, 94, 96, and 65 HP. Even though its HP is a little low, but it still can take a couple hits here and there. So, and I really like how versatile it is, like with its moves, right? It gets a lot of coverage, it gets a lot of priority, it really does a lot, and I'm really glad I picked it up. So, right here, it was like 45th overall, I picked Thunderous Eye. Literally, all the tier 1s I wanted was gone right after, right after my first pick, which is something I'm not used to. So, I ended up picking up Thunderous Incarnate. Thunderous Incarnate is in no way a bad Pokemon. It hits really hard on the physical and special side. It has a really nice speed with 111. So right off the bat, I do have really good speed tiers. So it gets things like Nasty Claw, the ability Prankster with T-Wave. Even though it did get nerfed, it's still very good in Draft League because some teams might not be able to have like a really good Dark type. So it still could be very threatening. Its bulk is not that great, but it's still pretty decent with 79 HP, 70 and 80 defenses. So I really like it as my electric type, and it's very powerful, and it was pretty much the only thing I really wanted that was left in tier 1. So for my third pick, this was a mistake. I got Vaporeon, even though I love using Vaporeon. I got it way too early, but its stats are crazy. 130 in HP is stupid. 60 in defense is like, it's not good, but 95 in special defense paired with that HP is insane. Even its physical bulk and special bulk, like, mixed, is also really good. I also love how it has 110 special attack. So Scald hits like really hard without really that much investment. So that's why I really like Vaporeon. And also Wish Heal Bell support it's really good Claire for my team. And I wanted to try to get some bulk. Speaking of more bulk, I got Hippowdon at tier 2. I thought this was really good value. I think it's a really good Pokemon. It has a really nice bulk stats. Like special side, it's not as good, but I can invest more in that. But I do have 2 mixed walls to pair with my Vaporeon, which I think is really good. And it also has 112 attack, so nothing on my team is passive. I do have a lot of speed. I do have a very good bulk, and I think these 4 picks work pretty nicely together. And it's also a hazard setter, which I didn't have any at the time. So my 5th pick, I got Ditto. Alright, it's no secret that I really like using Ditto. Ditto, it's a Pokemon that costs very little to draft, and it affects prep. Did I get it too early? Yeah, but like my mindset going, like there's 40 picks in between each pick. I don't know what to take. It's very difficult for me to know like what I want after 40 Pokemon go past. So it's not the easiest draft to do, and I'm not gonna make the best picks all the time. But I think Ditto is a great Pokemon. It's very solid, and it'll do a lot of great things for my team. Alright, for my 6th pick at tier 2, Alolan Muck. The reason why this lasted so long is because it was tier 2. But what it does is really, really good. It's a nice knockoff support for my Lopunny, and it's also my Wall Core, Vaporeon, and Hippowdon were weak to Grass, so I patched up that weakness right there with this really bulky, especially bulky poison type. I can run Assault Vest, Curse. I can use the Gluttony set with the Figgy or Papa Berry, whichever one you want to use. And it has really nice attack stat with 105, which is not passive. So none of my Pokemon are passive at all. I wanted more offense too, and also with Wish Pass support from Vaporeon, I think that's gonna be really good too. So alright, so those are my first 6 picks, and we got 5 more to go. So my 7th pick, I got Flygon. I wanted another setup sweeper besides Thunderous. I wanted hazard removal, and I wanted a dragon, so it's checked off the most boxes. and its stats aren't the best, but it is also a second ground type, so it's much harder for my opponent to click Volt Switch a lot. And it does give me U-turn, so I do have a little bit of a Volt Turn core with my Thundurus, which is nice. It's a good Scarfer. It does a lot of cool things. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with Flygon, and also Flygon better than Salamence. Come on, all day, every day. All right, so this is a pick, my 8th pick. I really don't like. I picked it because I didn't have a fairy at this point, and all the fairies were gone. So I took Slurf. This Pokemon was pretty terrible, I know, but it was also tier 3, which is really bad. But I didn't know what to pick. I had no clue what I wanted. I'm just like, let's just get Slurf. I need a fairy, because it's really hard to play in draft without a fairy. So I got Slurf. So I don't know like how much work this thing's gonna do, but I might drop it. But let's see what it does. All right, for my 9th pick, I got Shiinotic. I forgot this Pokemon existed, and I actually kind of like it too. Its stats aren't the best. That's because that's why it's tier 4, obviously. But it does get this move called Strength Sap. Yeah, Strength Sap, where I can lower my opponent's attack stat by 1 and gain HP equal to their attack stat, which I think is really cool. It's also a Fairy and Grass type, which are two typings I was lacking on this team, even though I do have Slurpuff. But I think this will fit pretty nicely. Oh, Spore Support. Spore Support also was very good, because it does get Spore, right? Yeah, it does get Spore. Yes, it does get Spore, which is really nice. And 90 special attack is actually pretty good for what it is. I'm very happy with this pick, and I think it'll do pretty nice work. Alright, so for my 10th pick, I got Crustle. Crustle, I really wanted to have some support with more hazards, because Hippowdon at this point was my only hazard setter, and this can give me the option to hazard stack, and it also gives me another option to sweep. So it did do a couple things for my team. With 105 attack and nice bulk, it could be a nice lead set. It could be a setup sweeper at the end. There's a couple cool things it could do, which I really like about it for a low tier pick. So that's why I got Crustle. And for my last pick, I got Dodrio. Bird Spam is always really good with limited switching for teams with 24. I thought this is my last pick at tier 4 would have been really good. I do also have 20 points, so I can upgrade a tier 3 to a tier 4. I mean, a tier 3 to a tier 2 if I make a trade with one of my tier 3s. So let's just say a team doesn't have a fairy and they want to trade Slurpuff, I can potentially get one of their tier 2s. So my Dodrio is really nice. It has 110 speed and 110 attack with a buff. I think with the buff and attack, I'm pretty sure the buff was an attack. Yeah, so Bird Spam is really good. It doesn't really have an ability. Like Early Bird, I guess, is probably its best ability. Like, it can't get confused if I want to use Tangled Feet. Or it can't go, like, it'll wake up earlier if it has Early Bird. So, it's not the best Pokemon, but it does have a lot of setup options. And it is also, like, it has really cool coverage moves like Jump Kick and Knock Off. And I'm pretty sure does it get U-turn? No, it does not get U-turn. But it does get Stab Double Edge and Stab Brave Bird, which is always very nice. It's not as powerful as Staraptor, obviously, but it is very powerful with the 110 attack. And flying types, the flying, attacking moves getting a buff this gen too. So, that's my draft recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe, and subscribe to the NPAAA channel too.